Hi, I'm Kathy for Celtic Mink. This is Celtic Mink Comments, and Grandma got a YouTube channel. So, I do believe we are in a constitutional crisis. The courts have ruled against Trump and Musk, and they are refusing to listen, and I don't know how the courts are going to enforce their rulings. So, at this point, I don't know what is going to happen or has happened. But, okay, I got a shout out to my husband. He ordered a gift online for me, something that I've been wanting, and it arrived on Valentine's Day. So we don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It's just become too expensive and too loaded with expectations. Just better to make it another day and ignore it. Well, Europe, where our allies reside, and Canada, who's across the border, are now looking for other trading partners just the way China did. So, tariffs, if you implement them, counter tariffs will be implemented. Meanwhile, we're becoming unreliable. Mexico, Canada, and Europe are looking toward China and other countries to be their trading partners that are more reliable. And I still commented on this, but I'm wondering, why is big business being quiet? I mean, these tariffs are disrupting supply chains and long-term business planning that these companies have committed themselves to. We are talking millions of dollars of investment over years of planning. Are the tax cuts that they're trying to pass more important than their capital investments? I don't know. That's and I can't ask to find out. I'll have to wait for the news to say something. So, Dictator Musk, traitor, and his Department of Government Efficiency, Doggy, have had their website hacked. They were told by the hackers, hey, you left your back door open. Hey, this website's been hacked. What you gonna do about it? So far, nothing has been done. They did not set their website up on a secured government site. They used some commercial site, and Doge's experts, Doggy, has not done a very good job with their website. Now, this old grandma has built 6 different websites and knows you need more than the website's firewall. You need to add one of your own secure firewalls and password protect that. But, hey, Doggy has experts who know more than I do. So, what about the money Congress has allocated that Doggy has taken over? Those were funds promised to grant programs, medical research, and farmers. So those programs have been closed, medical research has been shut down, and farmers are going to lose their farms because they aren't getting paid. So, a WTF moment for Doggy. They went into New York City's bank account and reclaimed or stole $80 million of FEMA funds budgeted for and given to them for operating homeless shelters. So, Why did they take the money back? And what are they going to do with it? Oh, and here's another one. Heat funds. Those are funds used for low-income residents to help pay their utility bills. So in a little town in Alabama, Doggy has gone in and taken $100 out of each resident's personal checking account because they don't deserve or need that money to pay their utility bills, apparently. So what are they doing with all that money? And who else's money are they going to go after and take out of personal checking accounts? And next, I haven't seen anything about Guantanamo Bay in the news in a few days. Now, we know they are officially shipping undocumented residents to that facility, but I haven't seen any pictures of their living conditions. I mean, they sent women, pregnant women, and children to this site, and no one knows what they were going into, what those conditions look like. Do they have access to outside contact? Do they have access to legal counsel? And who's taking care of them? How are they being taken care of? Oh, and I forgot, do they have access to medical care, especially the pregnant women? Something goes wrong and a medical emergency comes up, what's going to happen to mother and baby? I mean, these are babies. This is what the Republicans keep telling us. But then again, they're just doing this for the children, right? Everything the Republican Party does is for the children. And have you seen the most recent press conference that Dictator Musk traitor held in the Oval Office with his prop kid, whom is named X? What is that man's fascination with the letter X? I mean, the first time I saw it, I thought it was Roman numeral 10, the way we learned it in school. Assuming people still learn any of that in school, Roman numeral numbers. So, Musk gave a press conference, and Donald Trump was reduced to babysitting Musk's kid, X. And guess what? That kid told him off, using swear words. And Trump sat there and did nothing. If that was my kid, I would break my own rule about spanking kids, and he'd be over my knee so fast his head would spin. Behavior should have consequences. But his daddy's rich. Daddy's never had consequences, so why should kid have consequences? But think about it. That kid is already ill-behaved. So, why is Musk creating foreign policy? What about the lack of security clearances and access to our private data now that they've used AI to sift through all that information? Personally, I don't trust AI. Why? Because it makes mistakes. You need a person to oversee it. And yes, I use artificial intelligence in my business, but I still have to check it because it makes mistakes. For example, one of my products was a cat with crystal eyes, but the AI's written description described it as a crystal-encrusted cat. Mistakes. What if that had gotten onto my website? What if someone was looking for that and I couldn't deliver that? So, what about our private data? Who has it? What are they doing with it? Are they going to weaponize it? Are they just going to sell it to the highest bidder? I mean, we the people are going to become the product, and no one knows what's happening. Now, and here's a goodie. They have dismissed the people at the nuclear agency that controls our missiles. They want to turn that over to AI. Like I said, I don't trust AI. It needs to be overseen by people. AI makes mistakes. So they dismissed half the people at that agency, and now they had to recall some of them. They made a mistake. These are the people who control our nuclear weapons. These are the people with the nuclear codes. Now who has our nuclear codes? And how quickly can they be redone and reintegrated into the nuclear website? So, and then meanwhile, Vice President J.D. Vance is in Europe lecturing our European allies on how to run their democracies. He's not commenting on how our democracy is being taken apart, but he has the audacity to lecture other countries. Where is the common sense that's supposed to reside in the Republican Party? No, they are all just sitting back, ceding their power to, not even to Trump, to Musk. What is going on with them? Are they that afraid of him? I mean, the public is starting to react to this news. They are conducting peaceful protests, going to their Congress Critters office, and calling and filling out forms and sending emails letting our Congress Critters know they are unhappy with dictator Musk, traitor. And another thing they're trying to do, they are trying to set up a sovereign wealth fund. That is when a government has excess funds that they can use for investment. We don't run a surplus in this country. We run deficits. We have been running deficits for decades. But the only way to reduce a deficit is going to be by raising taxes. They can't cut everything they see just because they want to give another tax cut to the billionaires. Power to the billionaires and screw we the people. I mean, and how are they doing this? Well, let's see. They are cutting services. Medicaid. That's insurance for the poor. Death panels are coming back. You lose your insurance, you lose your ability to pay. Sick people die. Children's health insurance. Now, why don't those lazy infants and children get their asses up and go get a job? I mean, the Republicans want work requirements on these programs. Let's see. Food stamps, now known as SNAP, is distributed to people on debit cards. And each dollar spent in their local community creates $1.50 of economic activity. But let's cut health insurance and supplemental food income for people who are already food insecure. Hey, let them go hungry. They're just a bunch of lazy bums that don't want to work. Except the people that can work do work. And the people that don't are the disabled and old folks living in nursing homes. So when they start cutting that money, are they going to kick out nursing home residents? Are they going to force the disabled out of their homes, out of their jobs because their health insurance has been cut and they have no way to pay for the services that they need to function. And did you know some states have filial piety laws? Yeah, that's a mouthful. So what does that mean? That means adult kids are legally required to take care of their parents. Well, if parents are getting kicked out of nursing homes, where are they going to go? You going to let your mother or father live on the street, or are you going to have to take them in? I mean, the layoffs have started. Food prices are rising. Government benefits are being cut. We're going to be forcing families back to living together, whether they want to or not, because they have no choice. There's not enough money to go around, so people are going to have to pool their money and live together. And so it's either kids are moving in with their parents, or parents are moving in with their kids. When I was a kid, it was not unusual to have 3 generations of family living together. I mean, I went to the house that my grandparents owned. My grandfather and grandma lived there. My great-grandfather lived there. My grandma's sister lived there. And my aunt, my father's sister, my grandmother's daughter, also lived there. I didn't know any other way of people living. It was just my parents and us kids. And at my grandmother's and grandfather's house, it was relatives related to them by some form of marriage or blood. But now, are we prepared to go back to living that way? A lot of us aren't. And we don't have the room or houses that we used to accommodate more people. So let's crowd in and get cozy, because families are going to be living together and pooling money because they have no other choice. But they want to make this tax cut, so power to the billionaires and screw we the people. Woohoo! And what are we getting from our government? Performative acts. Renaming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. What does that accomplish? Do you have more food? Do you feel safer? Did you get a raise? Are you in trouble and need services from the government? Maybe you got ripped off by a company and you need it investigated so you can get your money back. Hey, maybe you need those safety net services they're cutting. But we're not being governed by Congress. They've ceded all their power to Trump, and Trump has ceded all the power to dictator Musk traitor. Meanwhile, the Department of Treasury has announced they are going to audit what Musk did to our payment system. But it's going to take time, and they don't think they will be finished until August. Now, if Musk was really doing an audit of systems, he would be using accountants. He would be investigating budgets and paper receipts to see what the money was used for, where it was going, how it was used. But no, Doggy went in with some hacker kids between 19 and 25 and turned them loose in our payment systems with our most sensitive data, and we don't know what they're doing with it. And remember I said Doggy's website was hacked already, and classified data that should never have been in their hands has been distributed. Well, screw we the people, and congratulations, our enemies have something that was classified and they never should have had access to. Let's see. And I'm still wondering, Musk and his crew of kitty cadet coders sneak into buildings over the weekend, take over their computer system, lock out employees literally from their computers and their buildings and say, hey, you're laid off. You don't need this access to this information anymore. I'm in charge, and I'm going to make decisions on how it's going to be used, or if it can be used by the people that it was meant for in government-approved budgets and payments. But since Congress and Trump have ceded all their power to Musk, what do we the people know? Why does it matter what we think? The world's richest man has taken over our money sources and is making decisions on how they can be used. And I keep wondering, is he taking our money? Where's it going? Once again, what's going on with our private data? Where is it? Who has it? How is it being used? What is it being used for? And in that press conference that I mentioned, Trump was reduced to babysitting Musk's kid. Now, we all know from news reports that Trump didn't interact with his own kids when they were very young. He waited until they were old enough, which I guess was age 5, to be interesting, or adults, so he could bring them into the business. So, still wondering, how are the courts going to enforce their rulings against Musk, his kitty cadet corps of coders, and Trump? I mean, we actually have people saying that Trump is above the courts. The courts should not be able to constrain the president. We are supposed to have 3 co-equal branches of government: the executive branch, congressional branch, and the judiciary. Well, I can't get that word out. The judges. So, remember when the Republicans grilled Hillary Clinton for using an unsecured server to send government emails on? Oh, 10 hours in the chair. 10 hours of questions from every Republican that could think of something to ask her. Did she lose her temper? Did she become uncomfortable? Did she raise her voice? No, she was an adult. She came when Congress summoned, and she answered all their questions. But Musk and his cohorts don't have to answer these subpoenas from the government. They don't have to stop their operations by the courts. So what is going on? And when are the courts going to have teeth to enforce their rulings? What happens if these rulings go on an emergency basis to the Supreme Court? Supreme Court has already given Trump wide latitude in what a president can perform in the name of his job duties. Well, I guess it's wait until the next time, because Trump is running his White House and our government like some kind of reality TV show. So stay tuned. Let's find out what's going to happen next. So, tell me, MAGA, do you love what has happened in the last 4 weeks? Do you feel safer? Do you still have a job? Do you still have access to your government benefits in case you need them? Hey, are you going to be able to apply for and get unemployment if Musk's actions have cost you your job? I hope the maggots are happy, because I know I'm not. And I don't want to live in this TV reality show that Trump is trying to conduct. He can't control dictator Musk, traitor. He's already exceeded any authority that, as an unelected person given access with no security clearance or being vetted to our most private and sensitive data, and is making decisions on how that money can be used, clawing back money that he had no right to, and doing it all in the name of our government, which so far has ceded all power to Musk. Hail Musk, dictator. So, what's going to happen next? Is Musk above the law? I mean, he is a billionaire and the richest man on the planet. So, once again, tune in tomorrow to see what's going to happen next. Oh, and I forgot this one. Musk wants to cut 9,000 people from the Internal Revenue Service. February was the beginning of tax season. January was when employers were supposed to supply all their payment information, 1099s and W-2s, which all have your information about how much money you made this year. And now it's in the hands of the IRS, and Musk, in his infinite wisdom, has just cut staff at the beginning of tax season. And will he have access to our tax data? Will he have access to our refunds? Stay tuned. We're going to find out very soon. How soon, I don't know. But that's what reality TV is about. What's going to happen next? Except this is real life, and this is affecting real people. So it shouldn't be treated like a reality TV show. This is our lives. This is our government. This is our money. And I personally do not want to tune in tomorrow and find out what's going to happen next. I'm Kathy. This is the Celtic Mink Comments. Grandma got a YouTube channel. And I'm not riffing about the news anymore. But I do feel qualified to comment on it. And as a registered voter, I'm allowed to bitch. If you didn't vote, too bad. You don't get a say. If you did vote, why on earth did you vote for Donald Trump? He is implementing everything on his platform that he campaigned on. And guess what? He's managed to do it in 4 weeks, upturn this country, break alliances, cause layoffs, and cede all the power of government to someone who doesn't deserve to have it, is unelected, unvetted, and not cleared, except by a magic wave of a Sharpie by Donald Trump. I'm waiting for our court orders to be enforced. I want to see these people arrested and charged with sedition, because I think they're traitors. I think they deserve to go to jail. And I bet Musk will get off with a slap on the hand, and his kitty cadet corps of coders are really going to be in trouble when the hammer comes down. Oh, one more thing. Yes, I am going to learn how to edit these videos, but first I have 2 more months of my own bookkeeping to check and to get my corporate tax return done and filed. I don't want to put another extension out, because who knows what's going to happen with the extensions. who knows what's going to happen with our Internal Revenue Service, the agency that is meant to collect tax money. They are our revenue agents. They are the ones that fund our government. But hey, why don't you cut them? Let's make it more problematic to get money from the rich taxpayers who are practicing avoidance techniques because they don't want to pay. And sometimes they don't have to pay. Now, as a kid, I was never interested in making movies with a 8mm video camera. I was never interested in joining the high school video club. I was not interested in making videos my entire adult life. Those interests belong to other people I know. They were the ones interested in the visual arts. I wasn't. But now it is so easy to make a video, and it's even easier to make a bad video. So, I promise I am going to do my best to look more cinematic, get something to modulate my squeaky voice so it's not quite as irritating, and improve how I look on camera. Hell, I could make myself 30 years younger and apply makeup without even having to put it on. Just gotta use the right filter. So, like I said, I will do my best. I hope you're here for my opinions on the day's news. But I don't know. So, like, subscribe, and comment below. I would love to hear your stories, and I'd love to get permission to use your stories because we can tell people what's happening right now in real life, and you'll get more than just my opinions, because right now that's all I've got to comment, my opinions. So, I'm Kathy, Celtic Mink, and Grandpa got a YouTube channel. Thank you.